we have a fourth workshop we choose for our program, which is the Algorhythmic Stitches. What shall our participants expect from that masterclass?
Again, the class that I teach, called Introduction to Algorithmic Knitting, is a methodology more than it is about teaching you a specific technique or a pattern. And what I mean by that is it's a class that helps you create stitch patterns that are based on rules instead of concrete charts or written directions that show you the exact thing that you're making. I've got some examples. But an example of an algorithmic stitch would be, for example, this lace pattern.
Yeah.
So for the algorithmic knitting class, we do things like this random looking lace. So you can see here at the end of this shawl, there are a lot of these eyelets that I've created, and they're a random pattern. They're supposed to look kind of like if in nature you see something, it's never quite organized, something like kind of all over the place. But as you go up the shawl, they get less and less until you're just doing plain garter stitch. So you have this smooth fade through the lace stitch. And that is created using an algorithm, because if you're working on something that's supposed to appear random, there's no reason to work from a chart that's going to tell you exactly where to place everything. It's just going to make a lot more work for you. So these algorithmic patterns, you use a set of rules that say, for example, on the first row, divide the row into 4 pieces, and then in each of those segments, make a certain amount of yarn over and knit 2 together pairs. In a random arrangement. And you do that for a while, then you decrease to doing less of those stitches and less of those stitches and less of those stitches until you're only working one every couple of rows. And that creates the smooth gradient, but you can do that, you know, with a repeating chart. When you back up from the piece, this is what I've seen in other lace pieces. You back up from the piece and you see chunks like 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same thing. So not only does it make it something that you don't need to be reading a chart or reading a pattern every single line, it also has the advantage of making it look like it's totally smooth and there isn't a big like chunky repeat that you can see visually throughout the piece. So that's an example of using an algorithm in a way that benefits your knitting. And that's what the class is about. It's about finding different places where these different rules, an algorithm is just a set of rules, can be used to create patterns instead of an exact written, you know, a normal pattern where each stitch, I would say not exact written or charted, but an exact pattern where each stitch is accounted for and placed intentionally. In this case, we use rules. So there are other rules. There are rules based on rolling dice. So in this pattern, it's a scarf. It's got mostly garter stitch, but some of the stitches are long and some are short. This is where the gray is long. This is where the yellow is long. And I just rolled dice to see where I'd end that stripe. And it gives you a nice subtle pattern. You could also associate those, you could use like a bar graph where each one represents a number or something, but you go through the pattern and the rule is the dice determine where you end the stripe. So those are some examples of how algorithms can work in your knitting to create an overall look. And it ends up, it's random, but because it's within a range and it's sticking to the rule, it's still visually consistent throughout the project. So you end up with something. It appears random, wiggly line down it, or you could arrange it in a pattern. But it's fun when you have dice, you get to do a little, it's almost like a game. So I loved,
it's a very individual piece you have afterwards.
sorry.
A very personalized individual piece you have afterwards. No one else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I teach that class, one of the things that we go over is a temperature blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what you end up with for a lot of these algorithms. It can never be made, well, it could be made exactly the same, but you'd have to go through very carefully and record as you go. Um, when you follow the stitches randomly, or you roll dice, or you use input of data to get an
Mm-hmm.
output of an object, it's very personalized and each one is different. And in fact, um, I've got some examples in my presentation. There's a very famous example from Munich of someone who knit a scarf with all the train times and the delayed train. And it shows the different times of construction on the tracks and when the train was really, really badly delayed for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a totally personal piece recording a period of time um, in the city, and no one will ever make, if you go to make a scarf based on your commute with different colors showing how delayed your trains are, it won't be the same because it's not the same time.
It will be a lot longer nowadays, I tell you that.
Is there a lot of a lot of
The
delays?
duration didn't get better.
You know, as an American, uh, be thankful that you actually have trains.
Yeah, I know. I
Because
know.
I'm lucky we live where we have trains, but we don't have that kind of infrastructure.
Yeah, I know.
And when we do, the delays are they're much older.
Different.
Um, but so I love teaching that class because it's one of the classes where anyone of any level, um, who, and also if you crochet,
Mm-hmm.
um, can take away something from it because we go over so many different ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use whatever techniques and whatever knowledge you like
Mm-hmm.
best, um, to create projects based on those ideas and concepts. So that, as I mentioned before, methodology of making a
Yeah.
pattern based on rules. You can use basic lace, you can use cables, you can use um, color work,
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of things to create those different things. Whatever you enjoy, there's something for you in the class that you might want to use.
Okay. Yes, I attended this class in New York and I was fascinated by it. I must say, it was a totally different concept for me.
And I think we had a few people in class. I show a bunch of examples, but we had a few people in class because you get a chance to try it who went in a completely different direction, did
Mm-hmm.
stitches that honestly did stitches that I don't even really know how to do. So you don't need to be um, you don't need to be advanced at one
Yeah.
particular technique or another to try this class. It really is whatever you want to make it.
All right. So that means we are looking forward to all these 4 master classes over here in Munich. Looking forward to having you over. We planned a meet and greet as well on Saturday evening for everyone who cannot attend your class or wants to have some words with you again afterwards. So we will have these 30 minutes in front of our big meet and greet wall, and see you there.
I'm so excited. It's going to be fantastic, I'm
Yeah.
sure. And for anyone like me, I know if you live in Munich, you've probably seen the Christmas markets. But for me, having not seen them before, I am excited to attend this event because it is going on around the same time. So um, it sounds like a really fun thing to attend, and then you get the chance to go in a little further into the city center and see some sights. So I'll be doing the tourist stuff as well. Um, and if you're coming from a little further away, I can't guarantee, but I've been told it's worth going and seeing everything all decorated and lit up and these famous Christmas markets.
Yes, we will have some information on our website as well. We did it last year for it because there's so many different Christmas markets. Yeah, one themed Christmas markets, hippie ones, other ones, normal ones, and in very many different places all over the city. And we will inform everyone as well how to get there from you. Yeah. All right. See you soon in 2 months' time.
Coming up quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, too
So
quickly for me, I tell you that. I don't want to go into it. I just don't. All right. See you soon.